preamble. As an American citizen, we need to perfect our union. In order to make our country perfect, we need to establish justice, make peace within the people, provide for common defense, promote happiness, and secure the blessings of liberty. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All legislative powers in a Congress of the United States shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. In the Senate, each state gets 2 representatives no matter the size. But in the House of Representatives, the population determines how many representatives they get. Every 2 years, people vote for the representatives for their state. In order to be a representative for the House, you must be at least 25, U.S. citizen for 7 years, and live in the state you represent. The end.
The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof for 6 years, and each senator has 1 vote. Originally, senators were chosen by the legislatures of their own states. The 17th Amendment changed this so that senators are now elected by their state people. There's 100 senators, 2 from each state. No person shall be a senator who shall not have attained to the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen of the United States. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments.
I'm just a bill, a lawmaking process.
There are many stages a bill must go through in order to become a law. First, a legislator has to propose the bill for either the House or for both the House and the Senate. A bill must pass through both houses of Congress by majority vote. If it's passed out of Congress, the next stop is the President. If the President signs the bill, it becomes a law. Sometimes it's not that simple to get a bill passed. If the President doesn't sign the bill or vetoes it, then the bill is sent back to Congress. Once it returns to Congress, it can be revised and voted on again. If the bill receives a two-thirds majority vote, the bill can become a law without the President's signature, overriding his veto. Something called a pocket veto can occur. This happens when a president doesn't address the bill after 10 days, it becomes a law, unless Congress adjourns before the 10 days, causing the bill to fail. Once a bill becomes a law, it is sent to an archivist, who signs the law, a number, and publishes it to every state.
Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution states that Congress has the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises. An excise, for those that don't know, is a tax on the manufacture, sale, or consumption of goods within a country. They also establish a uniform rule of nationalism and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States. Congress also provides punishment for the counterfeiting the securities and current coin of the United States. Congress also makes the rules for the government and regulation of the land and naval forces.
Article 2, Section 1, Clause 1 and 2, states that if an executive power or the President of the United States, they should hold their office for a term of 4 years. The Vice President also serves for 4 years in their term. In the past, the second runner-up for president becomes vice president, and now the president and the vice president run together as a pair. The way we vote is through the Electoral College, and the electorals are made up of electors. Each state is made up of House of Representatives and Senates.
Article 2, Sections 5 and 6 of the United States Constitution. The qualifications of a president: must be born a natural-born citizen of the United States. They must be at least 35 years old and have a permanent resident in the United States for at least 14 years. Under the 22nd Amendment, no person can be elected president more than twice. In case of removal of the president from office or of his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president. There are two situations when a president may be removed from office. If 5 Supreme Court judges decide that a president has become permanently incapable, the president's term of office will come to an end. The president may also be impeached for stated misbehavior. Stated misbehavior may include a criminal offense or misuse of the president's powers.
Article 2, Section 1, Clause 7 and 8, Compensation and Oath of the President. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of the United States and will do the best of my ability to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Should be a Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States. Salary, $400,000 a year, will remain the same throughout his or her term. President may not receive the compensation from federal or any state government.
Section 2, Civilian Power over Military, Cabinet, Pardon Power, and Appointments, also known as the power of the President. The President is the Commander-in-Chief of the Army, Navy, and the militia of the United States. He has the power to grant reprieves for offenses against the U.S., except cases of impeachment. An example of this is when Nixon was resigned and Gerald Ford, the Vice President, took over. The first thing he did was pardon Nixon of any crimes he may have committed. The President also has the power to make treaties with other countries, but must have 2/3 of the senators to agree. He nominates and appoints ambassadors to have dialogues with other countries. He nominates judges who have the same political vision as him to make decisions also.
The President must give a yearly speech to the nation, must give suggestions to Congress. The President must meet with ambassadors and other heads of states from other nations, must ensure the laws of the United States are carried out. Only Congress can make laws under the Constitution. Decisions by federal departments and agencies are also considered to be executive orders. Section 4 explains how a president can be removed from office for treason to our country, called impeachment.
Article 3, Section 1 and 2. In Section 1, there are two different court systems, the federal courts and the state courts. The federal courts are the most powerful element of our court system. Their powers derive from the Constitution and the federal laws. The other courts include the courts of the 50 states and derive from the state constitution and laws. Section 2. There are 3 parts: general jurisdiction, Supreme Court, and trial by jury. Section 1, general jurisdiction, which means the federal courts deal with the statute laws and are laws passed by Congress. Part 2. The court that originally has the case is going to be the first court to hear it, and then is sent off to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court acts as an appellate jurisdiction and hears the cases from the lower courts. Part 3. Last but not least, everyone has a right to trial by jury, except for impeachment cases. This must be held in the state the crime was committed and guarantees the Bill of Rights.